Hi, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
I've never seen Lost.
I have.
I'm told that it's good.
I liked it.
I'm told that it made sense.
Sort of.
But we're watching it out of order.
So it definitely won't make sense.
But it might still be good. Since we won't expect it to make sense, we'll still be able to appreciate each episode on its own merits as a 1-hour story.
Sometimes 2 or 3.
As opposed to just a fraction of an ongoing, sprawling, and increasingly complex tangle of relationships, personal stories, mysteries, mythologies, experiments, social dynamics, unnatural disasters, unanswered questions, and hot tropical hookups.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure.
Because you lost me a little bit there at the end.
Well, good, because I've been lost since the beginning. We're lost on Lost. Ooh, welcome everybody to Lost on Lost. I'm JP Russell, and I'm joined as always by my friend, your friend, and Enkito's friend, Adam Busher.
That's me, baby.
I did more research into the tale of Gilgamesh, I think, than any Lost research that I've done up to this point, which is to say upwards of 12 seconds. Adam, I wanted to give you and our listeners a quick update. So I recently had to do a project for work where I had to tie like a big 12 by 12 silk in between these 4 metal pillars, structural pillars, to like suspend a big silk sort of overhead horizontally. I had to tie 4 trucker's hitches in a row. And let me tell you, my trucker's hitches have improved drastically. However, the finishing knot, which is a very simple slip knot, I fucked up 4 out of 4 times. In searching how to do the finishing knot, the sheepshank knot came up, and I had some sort of drug-induced flashback. Excellent. So, still not there. Nobody's perfect, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you just take it one knot at a time. That's all.
Yeah. So that's our canonical knots update.
I have also some business.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
From our previous episode, I need to make a retraction.
Ooh.
Which I'm hoping will not become one of my regular segments, me making a retraction. But it probably will, because I don't look into stuff before I say it, and then I say it, and then I find out it was wrong later. The show that you referenced in our last episode, Dirty Sexy Money.
Yes.
That was not the ABC Christopher Titus vehicle that I thought it was.
Oh my goodness.
Dirty Sexy Money actually starred Peter Krause of Sports Night fame.
Well, you know what? I could honestly see, like, I could kind of get those, like, mentally scrambled, though.
But there are other key pieces of information about this that led to me getting them confused. Okay. They premiered within a day of each other, and when they premiered, I wanted to watch both of them because I'm a fan of not only Christopher Titus, but Peter Krause. Yeah. The show that Chris Titus was in was called Big Shots. It had Josh Malina from The West Wing and Dylan McDermott. That was the one that was called Big Shots, and that was like the boy version of Sex and the City, and it was god awful. So that's my retraction.
Hey, you know what we're doing today, Adam?
What are we doing today?
We're not talking about any of this shit. We're talking about Collision.
Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah. Well, so Collision, the 8th episode of season 2 and the 33rd episode overall, has a centric character in it. You know, everyone's favorite rights violator, Ana Lucia Cortez. Collision takes place on the 48th day after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. Adam?
Yeah?
Do you have a recap for us?
Yeah.
Do it.
We can't guarantee your safety. On the island, Ana Lucia Cortez tries to control the fallout of her killing of Shannon Rutherford by tying up Saeed Jarrah, quickly losing the confidence of her fellow tail section survivors. On the beach, Dr. Jack Shepard is mystified by the appearance of mango on an island where the primary staple food is fucking mango. Kate Austin, Charlie Pace, and Hugo Reyes almost sidetrack us into another meaningless golf-related C-plot, but are thwarted by our Lord and Savior, Mr. Echo. Elsewhere on the island, John Locke holds down the hatch and delivers dialogue consisting solely of questions. Before the crash, a bunch of shitty LAPD shit happens and I don't give a fuck. Will the tailies acclimate to their new home on Survivor Beach? Does Saeed have a concussion? Did Sullivan's rash ever get better? Find out not this week. It's Collision here on Lost on Lost.
There's been a lot of things that you've said that I've wanted to put on t-shirts. That bit about the LAPD might be the first one that I actually do it.
That'll be our first merch.
Yeah.
JP.
Yeah.
We don't have a guest.
Adam, what do you mean we don't have a guest? Have we alienated all of our friends and relatives?
Surprisingly, no. You and I talked about this a lot.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And due to the content of this episode, we didn't necessarily want to have a guest.
Yeah, the other Ana Lucia episode, we had our good friend Eric on, and Eric did the best he could with another tough subject episode, and we were like, well, who else do we bring on? And Eric volunteered. He said, I'll come back for it. I'm like, do you want to be the resident cop episode guy? And he's like, yeah, on second thought, no. Yeah. He's like, if you really need somebody, I'll come on, but man, I don't want to talk about cops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're doing this one, well, just old Adam and JP.
Yeah.
So, Collision. Collision originally aired on November 23rd, 2005. It was written by Javier Grillo Marçois and Leonard Dick, and was directed by Stephen Williams. Let's see here. Javier directed a short film called Cops on the Edge. Stephen Williams directed 3 episodes of How to Get Away with Murder. Right. And Leonard Dick wrote for Mad TV in 1995.
Sick.
Collision. Boy. Yeah, we start off at the range.
I don't see, it's a pretty good shot, it seems like.
Yeah, just don't aim for the neck. That's why there's not circles there, you know? It's one of the most narrow parts of the body. Aim for the head or the chest, you know. Don't do anything too flashy there, hotshot.
Right. It's like I picked up on this immediately. Like, she's in her street clothes. I was like, this is a requalification thing.
Yeah.
If this was work related, she'd be in uniform, I would assume. Like,
right. I just assumed that right next to her was Riggs and Murtaugh, and Riggs is shooting the smiley face into the target like in the first Lethal Weapon.
Like, yeah, with his laser sighted Beretta that he has in Lethal Weapon 4.
Yes. So we cut to a counselor, psychologist,
psychiatrist,
yeah, right off the bat. Either the rear element on the lens was dirty, or they're using soft FX filter on her, or glimmer glass or something, because like from a cinematography perspective, her shot looked real vaseline-y, I think is the only way to describe it.
It's like the same way they used to shoot Sybil Shepherd in Moonlighting, like.
Yeah. But yeah, she's having a conversation with some sort of mental health professional whose name I don't think we get. But they're talking. Says something about, was it Denny or Danny left?
Yeah, Danny. Asked him about Danny. Danny left.
He asked, how was the range? She's like, good. Like, with a little too much fucking glee.
Right. I was just like, I had just like a pocket full of red flags that I was like ready to just like throw at the television anytime something happened in this episode. And I was like, there's number one.
You had him on your belt like Coach Brandel.
So yeah, the way she responded to that, I was like, nope, you be normal about that. I don't care how you actually feel. Just
yeah, she's like, it's really good to hold a gun again. I'm like, okay.
I mean, you like guns. I like guns.
I like guns, but man,
I would never say that if somebody asked me how the range was.
Yeah. You know what else I don't do as a responsible gun owner, and we'll get into this, but I don't just like rub a loaded gun against my head a whole bunch with my finger on the trigger, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. It becomes pretty clear even before the question of, do you think you're ready to go back to work, comes out. It becomes pretty clear that this is the classic television trope of the post-officer involved shooting therapy that you see in a lot of different cop TV shows. I mean, they use the gun in the line, and then they got to go see a therapist or see a counselor before they can come back to work.
Yeah, you just get some paid time off, even if it's like a clear like self-defense, you're in the right, like we're not even
exactly, even in the like the cleanest and most like appropriate as far as the department's regulations are concerned. Yeah, it's basically mandatory, and basically we all know that because of television.
Yeah, but so basically, he ends up being the determining factor that she's ready to go back out, and he has her badge right there, which is interesting because I'm curious as to like, what if she'd have been like, oh man, the range went terrible. Like, I was shaky. Right. I didn't feel comfortable. I was jumpy. He'd be like, ooh.
He just goes up. He goes to his desk and just puts it in the drawer. Just like, well, that's you work through it. And we'll talk again next week.
I got this application for you. It's a job application for Arby's. You won't have to shoot anyone, hopefully. Fuck, I could go for some Arby's right now. Oh God, I'm so hungry.
She has a level of disdain in her voice.
Yeah.
It's not overt. It's not like she's like spitting in this dude's face, like, just sign off so I can go back to work. But you can tell that she's just going through this because she has to.
Yeah.
But like I said, she's not throwing it into this dude's face. So like she's showing more restraint here than you've seen in other cop TV shows in this same scene. So that was kind of nice. They didn't go real nuts with this trope. So
no. Cut back to the island. If I'm checking my notes right here. Yep, this is the third time we've dealt with Shannon being dead.
Yeah.
Shannon's 0 days on the podcast and Shannon's been dead.
Special guest star Maggie Grace. Former regular cast member, now special guest star Maggie Grace.
Special guest corpse.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shannon's dead. Saeed's just kind of holding her dead body. We haven't really seen what's led up to this exactly. We saw a minute of it in the flashback of the other 48 days.
Yeah.
And we've known that Ana Lucia is the one that shoots her. We don't really know the circumstances exactly surrounding it, but Saeed is distraught.
Putting it mildly.
Yeah.
Because he shifts into just like Hulk mode.
Yeah.
And is prepared to lay waste to this entire group of people, starting with Ana Lucia.
So, okay. We're going to have to do a bunch of bouncing around in this, unfortunately, because there's just some shit I don't understand. Now, we've talked pretty extensively in this podcast. If you've got a gun pointed at somebody and somebody else has a gun and they draw up on you, it's time to nut up or shut up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're just in a standoff.
Yeah, you don't put your gun on the target and you put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to pull.
Right.
That applies to living targets or regular targets.
Right. And it's pointed at something you're intending to kill or destroy. Right. These are the fundamentals of firearm safety.
Right.
Ana Lucia later in this episode talks about how a burglar got the drop on her because he reached for something.
Yep.
And she hesitated and he shot her 4 times.
Right.
Saeed straight up just starts lunging toward her and has a gun, and she lets him point it right at her.
Yeah.
If anything, from like a character continuity perspective, like they should have done something to avoid Saeed being actually able to get the draw on her, because everything about Ana Lucia says she would not have hesitated. She just would have blown him away.
Exactly. Like he would have looked at her and she would have pulled the trigger. Like that's
So I really was struggling with that sort of little instant right there. But yeah, Mr. Echo intervenes.
And they just have like a knockdown, drag out fight.
Right. I mean, they're both on uneven ground, right? They're both in the mud.
And it's muddy as hell because it's still actively raining.
Right. And Saeed is already a very competent fighter, or just survivalist. Now, like you said, he's in full Hulk mode. If it were anyone else, I think Mr. Echo, just would have done the thing that Mr. Echo does and just neatly folded his clothes with Saeed still in them. But they have a good little tussle there.
Yeah. It takes like everything in Echo to shut Saeed down. How's he end up knocking him out?
I think Ana Lucia hits Saeed over the head with like a rock or just something.
Right. Yeah, like they're tangled up.
It's really brief.
Yeah.
And he gets knocked out.
Yeah. And so Saeed goes down. A little bit of trivia about this. We talked about this in the past about trying to keep track of the various head injuries that occur in the show.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we're not the only ones to have noticed that, because while I was cruising around Lostpedia earlier today, there's a whole article on Lostpedia titled Head Injuries, where somebody has done the thing we've talked about, which keeps track of all the head injuries throughout the show.
Send me a link. Oh my God.
I will send you a link.
Oh my God. I love the fucking Lost community. You just crazy sons of bitches. I love it.
But way down at the bottom, there's a really interesting tidbit. They let us know who is the person who received the most head injuries throughout the
Who is it?
This one, Mr. Saijira.
Oh my God. How is he still the smartest guy on the island?
Well, here's another interesting fact. There are 45 separate head injuries that they've cataloged. And one other bit of trivia on there is that only 3 of them have any lasting effects. One of the 3, the lasting effects are negative. The other 2 are positive.
What are you saying right now?
So I will send you this link. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, Saeed gets clobbered.
Oh my god.
And Ana Lucia pulls her gun on everyone.
Yeah, and she's like moving it super erratically, just like up and down, like Michael's body. Like,
she's moving she's reloading at the fucking Area 51 arcade cabinet game. Like, shoot off screen to reload. Like, that's what she's doing. Like, I remember doing that when I was 14 at fucking Chuck E. Cheese. Like,
I went to an arcade last year and did that. It was amazing. No, that was this year. Fuck, that was so good.
But yeah, like, if they were trying to make her look erratic, they fucking sold it. Like,
yeah. And Michael's like, "Are you crazy?" You know? And it's like, for Michael to say that, that's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah.
Michael turns crazy and is also kind of an idiot. And he's actually doing really good in this episode.
She tells Echo to tie up Saeed. He's like, nah. She tells Libby to tie up Saeed. She's also like, Yeah.
Her rationale is, he tried to kill you. Yeah, because you did kill someone.
Right.
She does not see her own flaw until very late in this episode.
Why are you talking about old shit?
Yeah.
That was weeks ago.
That's 5 minutes ago. She's right there. Huh?
Oh, man. I know what I'm doing is what she says to her friends as she wildly points a gun at all of them.
Right. Also, like, I don't know if I missed this, you know, for like, especially Michael, who's standing there. Mm-hmm. You know, Sawyer's incapacitated. Jin doesn't speak great English. But does Michael say at any point, like, hey, this is one of my friends? Like, I know this guy?
No, I don't think so. I don't recall really hearing anything like that either. And yes, I thought that was a little strange myself. Because yeah, it's like, no, he's, you know, he's one of the middle section, like anything. Say, like, try to call, like, I don't know. Maybe he recognized that she was not going to be able to be talked down and just saved his breath.
Right. I don't know. Cut to the precinct.
Yeah, flashback to Ana Lucia in her uniform back at the shop.
That belt looks like it's for someone much larger than her. I know cop belts are big, but man, that thing looked massive on her.
Yeah. Well, that cop gag that they use from the props department, like that, like most of that stuff's all rubber and it just like comes in a big like Pelican case and they're just like, here's all the cop shit, strap your radio on. It's all just like goofy. It's like one size fits all when it comes to property cop stuff.
But yeah, her who we know is her mother. Yeah, is also her commanding officer, her boss, whatever, and is like, here's your new assignment, it's evidence, and she's not happy about that.
Yeah, she gets all irate. You're gonna put me behind a desk? She asks for a transfer. She's like, if you're not gonna put me out on patrol, transfer me. Why were you subordinate to your mother in the first place? Why were you in this division? Like,
that seems like a big conflict of interest.
Yeah, that was one of the things where I was like, only in TV. Because if she left the academy and they're like, we're assigning you to West Hollywood, where your mom's the captain, she'd be like, are you sure that's not? And they're like, oh, that was the person above you. Sorry, we're assigning you to Central or Hollenbeck or something. Like, you're not doing that.
I don't know. It might just be some LAPD shit.
Well, that's true. That's 100%.
Sorry, from a cinematography perspective, the color temperature was all over the place with their lighting. There's daylight edge with some like a little too tungsten-y key. There's some fluorescent overhead. There's a fixture that's too close to the edge of frame. It was not a well-lit scene.
Yeah. She gets what she wants with very little resistance from her captain mom. Like,
right. Like, I don't like, if you're going to stick me behind a desk, transfer me. Fine, I'll transfer you, and then they'll put you behind a desk.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I don't know.
But her mom's like, yeah, I'll put you back on patrol. I don't, why? No, whatever.
I don't know, because you spoke at me in Spanish, so that means that you're serious, I guess? I don't
know. There's this dude in this scene.
Rags.
Why is he?
Named character. Rags. 2 G's. Rags.
Cat, Ana Lucia, you got a phone call. Hey, Cat, Ana Lucia is here. Is he a secretary? I assume he's a plainclothes cop because he's wearing a suit, but like...
yeah, like...
Whatever.
So he's like, hey, you got a call. He walks away. All right. Try to act surprised. They got you a cake. If you wanted her to act surprised, don't tell her it's a cake.
Why would you tell her?
She was going to find out in 30 seconds.
We cut back to the island.
Yeah.
Back to Survivor Beach. Jack's filling up a water bottle at the old...
Get your fucking grubby hands out of the people's drinking water, Jack.
Right, yeah. There's got to be a better way to collect... Because I'm assuming this is some sort of rain catcher at this point.
Yeah.
Or maybe the catch for Michael's aqueduct that he designed and potentially maybe...
It's something. It's the first time we've really seen it. Like,
yeah, it's a water source on the island that they've built. So good work, y'all.
Rose walks up. It's just a breath of fresh air, as always.
Oh God! Like when she comes up and she just like she acts as though she's at like just like a picnic or a barbecue like every day, no matter what.
Yeah.
And, like you can't bring her down. You can't like her. Hey, good to see you getting some sun. Like,
Yeah, get out of the hatch. You're doing weird esoteric things in there. You need to get out and play with the other kids.
everybody out here's been like it's 2.5 months since the plane crashed, and I was just like, good to see you getting your vitamin D. Like,
I need a Rose in my life, man.
I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, here, have some fruit. I hear it's good for you. They actually like this conversation between the two of them. I was like, this is nice. Jack's not acting like a prick. He's like,
No.
interacting with her and like being like human, borderline human, regular human. I don't know. Like you could have this conversation at a Ralph's or fucking Whole Foods, like in front of the fruit, like.
Which is great that he's acting like a real person, because he's about to act like a real cocksucker for the next 30 minutes. Splash golf ball in water.
Into the water. Gross. Somebody's shooting golf balls into the kitchen, so Jack goes to investigate.
Dude, okay. Listen.
Yeah.
People have died from being domed in the head by golf balls, like right in the temple.
Yeah.
Don't fire off the golf balls toward the camp full of people.
Right. Like,
you got the
beach
whole other
huge.
beach. You got the rest of the fucking island. You got a golf course.
Right. You don't even have to move. You can just face the other direction.
Right.
From where they're fighting. But I mean, look who it is.
Yeah.
It's Charlie and Hurley and Kate. So like... They probably didn't even get through the sentence. Hey, do you guys want to play driving range? They probably got halfway through that and they were already doing it, having put zero thought into it.
Okay, I don't want to spend more fucking time on golf, but here we go. You're also right by the water, right? Jack also shanks a ball into the woods, and Kate's like, just take the drop. We got more balls. You guys are on a fucking island. You've been stuck here. The golf is the one thing you have to decompress, be fun, yada, yada. You have a finite number of golf balls.
Right.
Don't shoot them anywhere near the water or on the beach where you can lose it in a second.
Right.
Like, you're going to start losing balls very quickly, and then no more fun time.
Right. Exactly. Like, you run out of balls, and then you're hitting rocks and be like, well, this obviously doesn't work.
Right.
You know? You can say, just take the drop. We'll get it. We have more balls. You can only say that so many times before it's, don't lose that fucking ball.
Right. You should have 6 people watching to make sure they know where the fuck it goes.
Nobody plays golf alone. The buddy system, we need 3 people watching the ball.
Yeah.
While the other person shoots.
They're super loosey-goosey with guns and golf balls, and I don't appreciate either.
It's a poor management of their resources.
Yes.
You're 100% right.
And they're shooting all of Hurley's ranch. So Jack walks up to remind everyone that he's a misogynist.
Yeah. Hey, I'm much better at golf than any of you because I'm white and a doctor.
His justification is he's a doctor,
which is it's a joke. It's a
right.
I don't know if it's a good joke, but it's a joke. And he's trying to tell a joke. Maybe he got all like charismaed up from the conversation with Rose. He's like, I could still interact with regular people. And he fucking blows it with this doctor joke.
Yeah, he tries to download like joke.exe like Zuckerberg, you know.
I'm gonna go over here and interact with the poors, not knowing that Hurley is like probably 3 times richer than he'll ever be.
Yeah, big time.
So Jack says he's better than golf. Kate is sassy and says she challenges him to a 3-hole shoot off because they don't have, clearly Jack didn't have anything to do today. Neither did she, neither did Hurley or Charlie. Nobody's got anything to do today.
Yeah, so I just wrote I hate this scene. Back to the tailies. Sawyer's not doing great, trying to get him to drink some water. Saeed's tied up to the tree. He's like, hey, untie me right now.
if I had somebody tied up and they said that to me, I'd be like, no. I might have been thinking about it before, but you saying it like that really scared me.
Yeah.
So no.
Maybe that attitude's what got you tied up. So Mr. Echo picks up Sawyer and is like, hey, I'm taking this guy to camp. Like, he's not doing good. And Ana Lucia says something like, if that were you, he'd let you die. And I wrote down, if that were you, no one could lift Mr. Echo. But he, you know, what are you gonna do? You gonna stop Mr. Echo?
Right.
Like, he's like, no, I'm gonna try and save this guy's life. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me.
Right. And we already know that, you know, Echo's got a history with life and death. Like, we've seen him, like, beat a couple of dudes to death already. And so, like, you know, his conscience, as far as he's like, when he says, I'm not doing it, I'm not gonna let this guy die if I can save him. Like, yeah, it makes total sense to me. Cut back to LA.
Yeah, she's back on patrol with some partner.
Some partner. How dare you?
What?
Let's have a shout out for Michael Cudlitz, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no. Oh. I'm just like, I don't know. Did we get his character name?
No, I don't think so, because I had to look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, some partner, who we're not introduced to, but Michael Cudlitz, ladies and gentlemen, of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm. Band of Brothers.
There we go.
Yeah.
I know him from Southland, where he also plays a Los Angeles patrol cop.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, he's trying to, you know, be a good partner. Like, hey, they give you them good drugs. You know.
Yeah. In Southland, Michael Cudlitz's character he's a pillhead. I was curious if Lost and Southland were set in the same television universe.
Ooh, we might be onto something here. Hold on.
Could be something.
Yeah. But Ana Lucia pretty quickly figures out, like, they're just in, like, a real boring, like, business district. Like, why are we here? She's like, yeah, my mom fucking put you up to this. And he's like, well, you know, maybe.
She can, because of the command structure of law enforcement. Like, if she gives me an order, I have to do it, or they send me home.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, I was like, did he just take it upon himself to just start patrolling an area? That's not how patrols work.
Because when you come in for the shift, they give out the assignments, and they assign radio cars to a beat.
Right.
So, like, he can't just get in one and be like, I think we're gonna drive around the fucking Westfield Shopping Center today.
We're gonna drive around the driveway of my house.
Yeah.
But they get a call, a domestic call, and no one else is picking up, so...
Well, no, what happens is the dispatch assigns it to another car, and then Ana Lucia takes it.
Ah, there you go.
And that's why Michael Cudlitz says, that's not ours, you know?
Right.
But yeah, she wants to get back in the action, back in the saddle right away. This scene... Yeah.
Jesus. Well, really quick, did you catch their car number?
I did.
Yeah. 8 Adam 16. 816.
Oh shit, I didn't catch that part. I just did notice their car number. But yeah, 816, two of the numbers.
I just assume now that every time there's any sort of numerical anything, I'm just like, is it one of the fucking numbers?
It's probably one of the fucking numbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they get to the domestic. It's
Jesus.
A couple arguing over some shit. The dude's got a TV. The lady's got a baby. Like, it's your classic television domestic dispute. Two people screaming at each other, not quite sure why they're screaming at each other.
Yeah.
The cops get there
and de-escalate the situation
immediately, as per their training. Christ on a fucking cracker, man. Like,
yeah.
Cudlitz does his best to try to.
Yeah, like, he's actually a good cop. Like, it seems like
he just comes in. He's like, hey, let's calm down, put the TV down, put the baby down, like, whatever. We'll talk about it.
And then a millisecond later, Ana Lucia is like, oh, this is taking too long, and just pulls a gun on the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was coming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, just the way the whole like, even I don't remember the specifics of the episode, but I do remember sort of what happens in this episode. But just the way the episode is structured, the minutes leading up to this.
Yeah.
It's like, you know exactly that this is gonna happen. And even though I knew it was gonna happen, like, as soon as it happened, I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
It was tough to watch. I don't know. Like, And this is coming from a guy who watches like cop shows.
Yeah.
Fairly regularly. Like I've said this before, like I like Law and Order. I like Southland. I like it. Like I understand that they're fiction, you know, but like this, I don't know. There was something about this one that was really like fucked up.
TikTok has figured out some really weird things about me. I like fabricating videos, even though I know nothing about fabricating.
Sure.
You know, I like weird comedy that involves food. Okay. I also have a weird fascination with footage that people record of cops clearly violating people's rights.
Christ.
Not because I like that, but because it like I feel something visceral in them, just because like, yeah, I understand basic rights. I understand how this shit should be working. You know, I have some experience in it in the military, and I get this knot in my gut when I see cops just like whipping out guns at people and just arresting people that literally have done nothing wrong. And I got that exact same feeling watching this, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about this. I think the reason why. Like I'm able to watch things like Law and Order and Southland and stuff like that is like I think we were talking about this a while ago. Maybe we were just chatting off mic, but I was talking about the Francois Truffaut quote. You can't make an anti-war film. You can't, and sort of the same. Like I think you can apply the same thing to cop television shows. You can't make an anti-cop television show by putting cops on television. You're glorifying what they're doing. Sure. And so by that understanding, every cop show is propaganda.
Yeah.
And granted, Lost isn't a cop show. It just has cop characters in it. But so things like Law and Order and Southland and stuff like that, they're creating this fictionalized narrative of police officers that are doing their best, you know? And so that's why you rarely, it happens occasionally in these shows, but like you rarely see the cops in Law and Order and Southland and The Wire and stuff like that like just straight up violating somebody's rights, like the way I see it is in this scene. And so that so and then when it does, even when it happens in those shows, it's still sickening to watch. Right.
Or it's like a show like The Shield where it's like that's the point. These are all fucking crooked cops.
Because these are the bad guys. Yeah. Right. Exactly. So
yeah.
So she Cudlitz has to de-escalate the escalation created by Ana Lucia. He has to tell it like Officer Cortez,
holster your weapon.
Doesn't respond to that. He's like, Ana Lucia, you need to put your gun down right now. And like,
it's pretty intense.
Yeah. And then we cut back to the island.
Yeah.
Saeed's coming to.
She's rubbing her head with the gun with her finger on the trigger.
Yep. This is.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, and
get your booger hook off the bang switch.
And I think her actions here are certainly irresponsible, but we come later to realize that she's probably at this moment struggling with some thoughts of self-harm.
Self-harm or just shooting Saeed in the face.
Yeah, maybe one then the other. Yeah. But so Michael goes to bring Saeed some water, and Ana Lucia points the gun at him again, and he's just like, "You're gonna shoot me for giving this guy water? Like, then do it." Like,
yeah, the line that Saeed says later, like she's got a gun and guilt, I think it is, and that's really a lot of Ana Lucia's. Like when we cut back to this location on the island, it's a lot of the same repeated now for the rest of the episode. Like a lot of just Ana Lucia, like, I have the guns, I have the power, but like no one's fucking listening to me. And that's as deep as my character goes. Like, I know I fucked up, but I have a gun. Right. Ho, ho, ho. Michael says that the others took Walt.
Yep. Fills him in a little bit on what happened with the raft stuff. Like it tells him, and we haven't seen this, but
no,
Walt got took the night they left.
Oh, really?
That's what he's like. The night we left. Man,
yeah.
So we haven't seen it, but Michael tells him. So like they didn't get far.
Yeah. Cut to more fucking golf.
Yep. Kate and Jack playing golf.
Yeah. The ladies tees 10 feet forward.
Fucking prick.
Yeah.
She's like, "Fuck you! I'm shooting from the same spot," and she drills a nice,
just
like what I'm assuming is a nice shot.
Yeah.
And then he shanks one right into the tree line. I'm looking at his face after he blows that shot, and I'm just like, if this game continues, this guy's going to be very, very mad that he lost a lot of golf to Kate, and he's gonna be like personally hurt.
Yeah. He'll spend the rest of the evening explaining to her the game of golf and why he lost.
Yeah. And I was certainly not looking forward to that happening.
Yeah. So he shanks one. They go to look for the ball because they need them. There's a finite number on this fucking island. Unless in the Dharma drops, they're dropping Dharma balls. You know,
it's Dharma Initiative brand ranch dressing, Apollo bars, bottled water, and Titleist. 12 packs
and nerve gas. But Jack's looking around for the ball, and Kate is shook by something. We don't know what. I was like, oh, is it a polar bear? It's something more dangerous than a polar bear. It's fucking Mr. Echo, baby.
Her look over Jack's shoulder, that sold me. I was like, oh yeah, fuck, what is...
Super good.
Yeah. And then we see Echo carrying Sawyer's fucking corpse. Jack lifts up the golf club like he's gonna pound him with it. Like, that's an iron, my dude. That's just gonna break on him. That thing's tiny.
You're just gonna make him angry.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that line from Blazing Saddles? Don't try and shoot him. You'll only make him angry. Fucking Mongo.
Yeah, Mongo. Oh god.
But yeah,
where's the doctor?
Yeah, where's the doctor?
Cut to the hatch.
Oh, dude, they could have done a "What's up, Doc?" Yeah, cut to the hatch.
John Locke.
Yeah,
they're dropping off crossword puzzles too, unless this is an old one.
Yeah. How is Desmond in there for that long and he hasn't completed every crossword 97 times
every word
over?
Search, yeah. Like just done in different colors, like written over 1,000 times.
Yeah.
He's just working the button.
Yeah.
Just working the button.
He's just happy to be here.
Yeah. Just a computer crossword. And then Jack and Kate bring in a mostly dead Sawyer.
Yeah, Jack's gonna throw him in the shower to
try to break his fever.
Break his fever. Locke is like, "Hey, what happened?" And the alarm's going off for the thing, and Jack has to remind Locke, "Hey, go push your fucking button,
John. The button."
Which again felt like it was a little out of character. Like, Locke is all about the button, baby.
Right. Like, Locke knows he's got 4 or 5 minutes once the noise starts. He's got time. He's still got time.
Yeah,
you could answer his question before he goes and hits the button.
Right. I don't know. Anyways,
you're right. It did seem a little weird. Maybe Jack's like, well, I mean, if we're gonna do the button, let's fucking do the button.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If we're going to,
are you in or out on this fucking button thing?
Right. Yeah.
JL.
Come on. So he goes and hits the button, and he meets Mr. Echo.
Yeah, Echo's looking at one of the Dharma symbols, which, again, for those playing, the paying attention to Lost game at home, are like, oh, there's different symbols at the different locations. Okay.
Yeah, so, because the middle section survivors, they've only seen this one.
Right. Now Mr. Echo is putting some pieces together.
So, and again, John's like, hey, who are you? I'm John. Echo's like, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, we're not friends. Why are you so obsessed with me?
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Cut back to the jungle.
Yeah, more of the same shit. Ana Lucia is like obsessed with her gun.
She has finally created an out for herself.
Yes.
She asks Michael to basically put together a bug out bag for her and bring it back.
Yeah.
And she will go live a Danielle Rousseau-like existence by herself in the jungle.
This is a terrible plan because if they have ammo, and he says, a couple of boxes whatever, you can guess that they got one gun and boxes of ammo. They probably got more. So now you're sending one of them off to a place that most likely has more guns. They now know where you are. Yeah. How many you have with you, and they're coming back with guns. How do you think this is going to fucking shake out?
The interesting thing about Michael's response to, a couple of boxes, like, we haven't seen when the raft departed yet, but I think it left before they got into the hatch.
Oh.
So I think there's a good chance that Michael is at this point in the Lost chronology completely unaware of the shitload of rifles that they have.
They got fucking, the basement from Tremors.
Air filtration, water filtration.
Yeah.
We could have made a stand there. You're right, Michael Gross. We could have. But yeah, this is a horrible idea. Like you said, this is such a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like the only way that this is a good idea is if it's a fake plan to just like get him to leave and then she leaves before they come back.
Yeah, she ain't that smart.
Yeah. So
cut back to flashback. They're wrapping up their shift.
yep. They
What's the fucking partner's name?
Mike.
Yeah, so yep. Mike's like, I'll sign us out. She's like, oh, you're talking to me now? Like, oh no, you're gonna like
just wanna go home.
You were violating someone's rights. I want to put this day behind us.
They get inside and she finds out that they have arrested somebody, the man who shot her.
Mm-hmm.
And so they don't really talk about this in the beginning of the episode. So all we know is she was involved in an officer-involved shooting.
Yes.
This is where we find out that she
got shot.
Right.
But say, because otherwise if they got a sheet cake because you shot someone, man, that's why the cops shoot so many people that just want cake.
Christ.
So she goes into, one of the one-way mirror, two-way mirror, whatever the fuck they're called. Rooms. Yeah, observation rooms. And like, yep, this is him, right? Like, we got a partial. And she says, nope, it's not him. It's the end of that.
Don't they say that he's going to confess, or he did confess?
Yeah, he did. He confessed.
He's got a partial print and a confession, and she won't ID him.
Which, at that point, the DA should be like, well, I don't need your confession. I still have enough to put him away. I have a confession and a partial print.
Thank you. Why did they let him go?
Yeah.
We don't find this out until the next scene, but they cut him loose with a confession and a partial print. I've seen a lot of TV shows. I've seen Hang'em High McCoy hold men on less who were guilty.
Oh my god. Also, anyway. just side note, just like my grandfather was shot 4 times throughout his stint in Europe. When he went backpacking through Europe, little bit of a different situation.
Is that a euphemism for being in World War II, or was he backpacking in Europe?
It is World War II.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the fuck are you about to tell me?
She got 4 hollow points through the vest.
Yeah.
Which there's some questions I have about ballistics, but without knowing what caliber she was shot with. Okay, if you're shot 4 times with hollow points and they go through the vest, I don't think you're returning back to duty. You're lucky to be alive. You're probably missing a bunch of inside stuff.
Yeah.
And you should live your days peacefully somewhere.
I was shot in the gallbladder and the appendix, fortunately 2 non-essential organs, so I'm fine to go back to duty.
Shot me right in a tumor that I was...
So, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come back to the island.
Shannon's dead body.
Just looking at it, you can see her breathing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you've ever tried to act dead before, it is really hard to be totally still. So I'm not mad at Maggie for that.
Yeah,
she's earning that guest star paycheck. Yeah, back to the hatch. Echo and John Locke are talking. Echo describes sort of, there was an accident. This blonde lady died. Yeah. John Locke's like, oh shit, it's Shannon. He kind of reacts the way I would expect him to react. This was actually like a moment of a reaction where I was like, again, I bought it. I was like, he doesn't know what to do with that. Like, Echo framed it as an accident. Like, to begin, he's like, there was an accident.
Yeah.
Shannon was killed. Like, accidents happen on this island all the time. We've seen them happen.
People fucking die on this island all the time.
Right. So for John to not fly off the handle immediately, I think that would, using his head.
Pretty rational. He's like, well, can you,
does he ask can you tell me where, or
can you take me there? And he says, we can't go back right now, or they can't come back right now, or something.
Yeah, why didn't they come with you? Like, whatever. Like,
that was it. Yeah, why they can't come back.
With you? They can't. Jack and Kate have Sawyer out of the shower, and they've got him in the bottom bunk, the bunk least equipped to help somebody heal from a gunshot wound, as you've expounded on in the past.
Fucking bullshit. Put him in the top bunk.
So like they cleaned him up, they've dressed his wound, they got to get some antibiotics in him. He's still in real bad shape.
They try to just get it down with some water. Jack's bedside manner isn't great. He spits him right back up. Kate's like, I can do the Trinity from the Matrix thing and just kind of whisper in his ear, and which I've seen some really strange interactions with like medical stuff where people think that just like talking to someone who's unconscious is gonna like help them.
Sure.
And I would assume I'd probably have the same face that Jack had, like, okay, this is gonna fucking work.
Right.
But you know, she very like calmly and lovingly is like explaining it to him, pats his head and says, I need you to take this pill, and he does.
Yeah. And then, I mean, the other thing that's causing Jack's face is, oh, my competition's back.
Mm-hmm.
So I
could just let him die.
Well, yeah, that's the thing too. It's like we've dunked on Jack for being a bad doctor in the past. Like, he's actually trying to save Sawyer's life. He doesn't want Sawyer to die here. But like, I think there's part of him that does.
Yeah.
Like, a little part of him is like, I could just not waste our limited supply of antibiotics on this racist Peckerwood and let him fucking croak. But he doesn't. So.
I didn't learn the whisper in the ear in doctor school.
What a dick.
Fuck off, Jack.
Fucking... Yeah. They should have both gave him a tender smooch on either cheek. Kate and Jack are here to take care of you, sir.
That's how I kiss my dog. Cut back to the tailies. Bernard's like, I'm taking my sick outfit and I'm getting out of here.
Why bother wearing pants at that point?
Well, I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know, we talk a lot about the jorts for those on the beach, which I feel like makes sense. But if you've been in the jungle and you got to deal with like underbrush, like your legs might get pretty cut up. So like, he's just trying to protect what skin is there.
Right. He's been unable to replace his shredded slacks with a different pair of pants from somebody else's luggage because the tailies didn't have access to the luggage, the same amount of luggage at the middle section. So yeah, so just rocking those shredded slacks, man.
And for those of you looking to get some new slacks for the holidays, 30% off at Kohl's right now.
I have some Kohl's cash in my wallet, but it expired in 2008. Can you hook me up or what?
You'd be surprised how many people ask that. Yeah, so Bernard's like, I'm out of here. Libby's like, I'm all about bandwagons.
Yep, I'm leaving too. I'm out. If I have any hope of being upgraded from guest star to main cast, I gotta leave as well. So, so they leave. They leave Ana Lucia and Saeed there.
Yeah. Michael running through the woods. Yeah, booking it,
just hustling, and he barrels into Sun's garden.
Actually, I really like this scene.
Yeah. Because
she sees him.
Yeah.
He sees that she sees him, and he's like, bottom line up front, Jin's okay.
Yeah.
Something happened. I need Jack right now.
Right. I will explain. I promise to explain. Jin is fine.
Yes.
We need to find Jack. And that was like the one time where I didn't get to somebody saying, you got to take me to Jack. And I wasn't immediately aggravated.
Yeah. No, it was really good. I was like, dude, Michael's actually doing really good this episode.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. From there, we cut to the hatch. Jack is interrogating Echo.
We've seen Mr. Echo kill 2 guys with 1 knife swipe.
Yeah.
Jack is playing with fire, and he doesn't know it.
He does not realize it.
No.
Yeah. He's in a precarious situation.
Yeah. He's yelling out, where are they?
Yeah, where are they? Take me to them. Blah, blah, blah.
You're just going to sit there and not say anything? And Mr. Echo just calm like a fucking bomb.
You gonna talk to me, or are you just gonna sit there?
Anything I say would only make you angry. So yes, I will sit here.
So good.
Yeah. I loved Echo, and he didn't have a ton of screen time, but like I loved every scene he did.
But having seen the 23rd Psalm, I feel like us in the podcast get more out of these scenes than your casual viewer, because they're just like, who the fuck's this guy who thinks he's all? I'm like, no, it's Mr. Echo, dude.
That's Echo. He'll ruin your life or make it better, and it's kind of up to you, which he does.
Right. Yeah. Oh my god.
Michael plows in.
Which puts Mr. Echo in kind of a weird place, because he's like, I'm gonna try to let this situation resolve itself, and Michael's like, I'm here to help. Shit.
Echo says again, Ana Lucia made a mistake, and this gives Jack pause. He seems to recognize
the name. Yeah.
Ana Lucia when Echo says it, and he's gonna
Yeah.
and so Echo says that he'll take Jack and just Jack and no guns.
Yeah.
Because like Michael comes in, he's like, Saeed's in trouble, and so they're gonna mount up. They start grabbing the rifles and all kinds of shit, and they're gonna roll out deep. And yeah, Echo's like, let's not do that. So Jack agrees to Echo's terms, and the two of them head out.
Yeah.
We cut back to the jungle where Ana Lucia and Saeed. I wrote that they're making small talk, but it's not really like small talk.
Yeah, she's just tossing the magazine in and out of the gun like a fucking psycho.
Yeah.
Where you from? Got any kids? Crazy weather, huh? Seen any polar bears? And Saeed's just like, you gonna kill me? Like,
yeah, and like his little monologue here. Holy.
So yes, from a cinematography standpoint, they should have done a push in rather than a zoom, but that's just me.
I thought that the zoom was weird. I was like, there's got to be a better way to do. Like, I see what they're trying to do, but I don't know what to do.
Like dolly in. Don't
gotcha.
Yeah. So he tells the story about 40 days ago I tortured a man and I've tortured a lot of guys and like I'm dead inside already from all that. Now the person I love is gone. Okay, telling like this is where I'm at. Either kill me or do something because I'm that's where I'm at.
Right.
So she's like, well, I'm a cop, right? And I had this really bad time where this guy shot me. And then Saeed's like, well, what happened to the guy? And she has this weird reaction like, nothing. They never found him. I'm like, no, that's when you tell, like, no, then I killed him and I covered up the murder. Otherwise, what was the point of that story? Like,
right.
I had a bad day once.
Yeah. Yeah, like, they cut to the flashback right before she answers the question.
Yeah,
but yeah, like her answer, it doesn't play. Like,
no.
But we flash back to L.A. Ana Lucia's in a bar, following the dude that got cut loose. He's on the street. Maybe he's on bail. I don't know. But
whatever.
There's no way he's like. Yeah. Like we said earlier, they have the evidence that guy is going to jail.
Yeah.
So he leaves the bar and she follows him outside.
How he doesn't notice her or recognize her is fucking buck wild.
Yeah. Maybe he was on crank or something when he shot. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Hey, do I know you? I was pregnant. And then she blasts
it's not my kid.
him.
Oh wait. Blam.
She just fucking executes him. She shoots him 3 times.
Yeah.
And then walks over to his body and shoots him, 3 more times?
Pip. You know how they could have figured out it was her? Because she didn't put in ear pro and she fired that many rounds in quick succession under a bridge. So the next day when she came into work and was fucking deaf.
Hey, Ana Lucia, there was a homicide last night, outside this bar, just outside of the thing. What?
I can't hear you. I fired a gun without ear pro a whole bunch.
I use the phrase execute because that's what she did.
Yeah. She did.
She executed him.
Yeah.
This was all it was an extra legal execution. Because, I mean, the guy was a criminal.
Yeah.
That absolutely does not justify what happened.
No. Yeah, it's murder any which way you look at it. And does it suck that she was pregnant and clearly lost the baby and is probably incapable of having another child? Yes. Yeah, it's real bad. Doesn't mean you just get to kill somebody with impunity.
Nope. Cut back to the jungle. This is where she tells, again, like giving there could have been catharsis here.
Yeah.
Like this man tried to kill me for no good reason.
Yeah.
And then I killed him.
Right. And I lost a baby and I lost my relationship.
Yeah.
Like I'm also nothing, but like she's like, I don't know, they never found him.
They never found him. That's why I'm dead inside, because I still haven't gotten vengeance. But you have.
Right. So
she cuts him loose.
Yeah. She's like, pick it up. I deserve it.
And he's like, nah.
Yeah, we're both dead.
Yeah, we're both dead inside. And it's early season 2, so we got a lot of time to be dead inside.
Yeah, because you're also going to be dead outside.
Cut to the hatch. All I have written down here is Sawyer and Kate. So
that's my exact same notes. Hatch, Sawyer, Kate. Okay, moving on.
And then it just goes to beach.
So the heartfelt music starts. I thought it was just gonna be a reunion between Michael and the dog. And I was like, you know what? I fucking feel that.
He comes up the beach just like by himself, and we see Vincent. It's like, oh yes, the dog.
Fucking everybody loves dogs.
Right? He comes over there. Oh man! But then like when the music continues to swell and swell, and then we cut over to the tree line, and we see in the distance Jin come out just ahead of Bernard and Libby. Yeah. And I'm sure I've said this before, but like I've gotten to a point in my life where like TV and movies, like if I feel like I'm gonna cry, I don't fight it. I don't fight. No, I was fucking weeping in my apartment.
100%. I cried. So I wrote, once Bernard saw Rose, I legit started to cry. When Jin saw Sun, I legit got a boner. It's so, man, that's the thing. This episode, all of the main shit with Ana Lucia, cut all of that. I love everything else that happened in this fucking episode.
Yeah.
The reunion was so sweet. I mean, the music helps.
Of course.
Like, but it's
that's what music's supposed to do. Music's supposed to help.
We've waited for the reunion of these characters, and they finally have this closure where they're like, oh my god, the person I love is okay. Like, that's a good scene.
Right. And it's wild because like these two reunions, neither one of them were diminished for me by the fact that we're watching the show out of order.
No, they're very good.
From the opening of the episode. Yeah. Based on our knowledge that, you know, we know what happens in 48 days, and we know what happens in the other episode, like we know that they're going to get back together because there's no holes in the schedule anymore. Yeah. And so, like, I was looking forward to it just from the credits opening. Yeah. And then when it finally happened, I was just totally opened up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very good.
Yeah. We cut to the jungle.
Yeah. Echo and
Jack find Saeed and Ana Lucia. Saeed is carrying Shannon's dead body.
He's just got this look on his face, like, that says it all.
Yeah. Like the moment just before, and then the heartbreak that exists inside. Yeah. And then you know, I wasn't championing Ana Lucia throughout most of the episode, but like just the despondency in Ana Lucia, like she's totally lost right now too, completely spun out, and like so you can see that in her. Yeah. And so it's like we go from this beautiful happy reunions on the beach to this cloud of despair. Yeah. And holy fuck. Yeah.
She's also wildly out of focus in her close-up, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, well, and I liked the shot right at the end where we just see the two
I was just gonna say it's a really good shot. The two leaders of the two groups kind of finally facing each other for the first time, sort of.
And they know that they have a problem to deal with. Yeah, because of Shannon's death, and they might apparently know each other from before. We here at Lost and Lost don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that's Collision.
Wow. This is a weird one, man.
Yeah. Did we like it? Was it good?
I don't know, man. I'm struggling over this. Like I just said, I like everything except for the A plot. Yep. Yeah. I like Sawyer being dealt with. Yeah. I like Echo and Locke barely interacting but still interacting. I like the reunion. I like Michael running around. All the Ana Lucia scenes. If you took all of the scenes where Saeed's just tied up and she's just waving a gun around, you could put them in any fucking order and they in the episode just jumble them around and it does not impact the episode.
Right. It does the exact same thing, which is Ana Lucia has lost it.
Right. Yeah. It just felt like it was so it's all just surface level. I have a gun and I'm angry, and it just did nothing for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would agree entirely. And I think this speaks to my love of Javier Grillo-Marxuach's writing. Yeah. He's one of my favorite writers on Lost, and I think this episode is really well written. Yeah, because
the flow's really good.
Yeah, and I don't like the stuff with Ana Lucia and the gun in the jungle and all that. The A plot is, I don't care about it. Right. It's still well written.
Yeah, I fucking cried at the end of this episode.
And like you said, I didn't even think about this until later. Like Michael's performance throughout, Michael Dawson, Harold Perrineau, like the stuff that he does, his characterization is really good.
Yeah.
And he, again, with limited screen time, and it's just like there's so many. Even this trunk of the story, which is kind of shitty and I don't care about, everything hanging on it is really awesome.
Even when Jack is being a piece of shit to Kate, it's allowing Kate to be good at things and to like show her worth as someone on the island who brings something to the table.
Right.
And,
getting away from just this, her wannabe outcast stuff and the stove and her dad issues and all that stuff. Like, we're seeing Kate be three-dimensional here too, like, or at least the formations of it. Yeah. So I guess we could probably give it a solid kinda.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some really good stuff in this episode.
There's also some really dumb shit.
Yeah, there's some really stupid shit in it too.
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, Lost MVP. Who is your favorite? Who was the MVP of this episode? Minus your context, minus things you know about the show. Who is the all-star MVP of Collision? We don't have a guest, so am I going first?
You go first? They're not going to go first. Do you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
It's Regs. Detective, officer, secretary. I don't know what he is, but you know what?
Sergeant.
He's running around. He's trying. He's communicating. The bullpen is a crazy place. He's trying to just disseminate information. He's just trying to be a cop.
Sure.
So Regs, RAGGS. Good job.
You're right. I just now realized that my not realizing that his ruse about the urgent phone call was just subterfuge to get Ana Lucia to come to the cake. Yeah. That wasn't his fault. That's me. I just wasn't paying attention.
I mean, he sold it.
I thought there was a real phone call.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. Regs. All right. Yeah. Detective Lieutenant Sergeant Officer Regs. Is it a ripoff of Riggs? They should have got Mel Gibson to play that guy. Oh shit.
Oh, wait a minute. Adam, who's your MVP?
I struggle to think of somebody, so I think I'm going to give it to Michael. Based on your description of his return to the camp. Like, you're right. His return is super effective without it doesn't get in anybody's way. He doesn't get in his own way. He doesn't get anybody else's way. He comes in, he reassures Sun immediately. He disseminates enough information to keep the action moving. And even prior to that, when he's talking to Saeed, he delivers information. He tries to get it, Michael did a good job for once, and it was nice to see. So Michael,
the
other half of this bit,
Lost Forever. Who sucks shit? Who's got to be done? Who's
hacking it up?
Yeah, for me, Lost Forever's got to be Shannon. Listen, just die already. We've seen you die 3 times. You're gonna have to die at least one more time. You're hamming it up like Paul Rubens in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, that scene where he gets stabbed and he just like won't fucking die. Just be done. Just go into that sweet goodnight and just go away. We're done with you.
The amount of times we've seen Shannon die and had to deal with it, it's apparently the most important death in the show.
Apparently. Boone died and everybody was like, okay. Who? Adam, Lost Forever.
My Lost Forever would be the officers of 8 Adam 16.
Yeah.
Officer Ana Lucia Cortez and Officer Big Mike Walton.
Yeah.
And we've already talked about it during the episode, so I'm not going to get too nuts about it, but Ana Lucia's a real bad cop.
Yeah.
She talked about how during this burglary, this dude got the drop on her. She shouldn't have had her gun if she wasn't prepared to shoot that guy. Then when she comes back, she obviously doesn't take the therapy and the counseling very seriously. She just wants to get back. She's using her job as a way to deflect feelings about potentially losing Danny, losing the baby. She obviously has anger issues. She has decision-making issues. She has all this. She has a lot of problems. And she's just not equipped to be a police officer.
No.
And this is sort of like on a bigger scale, which goes to sort of a real-world problem. Cops don't snitch on each other.
Yeah.
Big Mike should have went directly into the captain's office and been like, Ana Lucia pulled her gun during this thing, and if you, the captain, who is also her mom, isn't going to do something about it, I'm going to have to go past your head. I'm going to go to the deputy chief. I'm going to go to whoever I need to do because she's a bad cop and we need her off the street.
Right. If this is what she's doing and how she's acting with the first call on her first day back, she's going to shoot somebody.
Exactly. And they say about cops, a few bad apples spoils the bunch. Any cop that won't snitch on another bad cop, they're a bad cop too.
Right.
So
yep, that's exactly it.
That's it.
That's Collision.
Yeah, it was a bit of a heavy one.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to plug or talk about quick before we sign off?
No, I don't think so. Lactaid.
Yeah, back medicine.
What about you?
I, in preparation for this episode, read a very interesting book called Becoming Abolitionists, Police Protests, and the Pursuit of Freedom by Derica Purnell. It came out last year in 2021. And it talked about police abolition, and it was very interesting because there's this sort of a paraphrase saying that, complaining without offering solutions is cynicism. The book not only talks about the problems that Black, Indigenous people, communities of color face with the police. It addresses a lot of the problems that are there, but then also offers what a world without police could or should look like.
Yeah.
So if you've ever been curious about police abolition, I myself am a police abolitionist. I do believe that the institution should be completely destroyed because you can't fix something that is functioning the way it intended to. They always say,
right.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Law enforcement is not broken. It's functioning exactly the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Right.
So
we need
I
a different system.
Yeah. So I highly recommend this book to anybody who's been curious about what to do in the wake of all the stuff that's happened has been happening for decades, and especially the stuff that's been happening over the last years, the George Floyd protests, Tamir Rice, Ahmaud Arbery, Elijah McClain,
dude,
Breonna Taylor.
If you fucking start naming names, you're going to be here for the next hour naming names, and that's the fucking problem.
Because it's a lot, and that's a problem. So yeah, check that book out. I really, really liked it. It was an easy read too. I know a lot of times stuff like that can be heavy and dense and hard to get through. It's well written, and so yeah, check it out if you get a chance. It was probably the best book I read last year. And Google LASD gangs, because gangs within the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department are a real thing. And if you think that it can't happen where you live, maybe think again.
It's also a big problem in the Army. Well, thanks for doing all that research, Adam, and doing all that reading in preparation. I just read a bunch of Marmaduke comments.
Fucking Marmaduke is solid.
Dude, that dog's so big.
What are we doing next time?
Yeah, next time, if you want to be lost with us, we're going to be checking out Season 3, Episode 1, A Tale of Two Cities. The first episode of Season 3, starring Jack Shepherd.
Yeah, that'll be our first season premiere since the pilot.
Holy shit. Lots changed.
That's going to be a good one. Well, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Lost on Lost. Thank you to our guest, no one, and thank you, JP, for entertaining the idea of doing an episode without a guest.
Yeah, let's never do this again. Can't listen to this much of you. All right, well, I'm JP.
And I'm Adam.
Yeah, you got any idea what's going on in the show?
Not a clue.
Me neither.
Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at Lost on Lost 1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.